Hi everyone, welcome back to Art with Adam and Rachel. I'm so excited you guys are here. This week we're going to be making X weavings. It is a tradition from Mexico. Usually they're called ojos de Dios, which means eyes of God. But to be more inclusive, we're going to call it X weaving. It also helps us remember what shape we need to be working in. So X weaving. The things that we're going to need are popsicle sticks, which should be in your kit this week, yarn. I'm using 3 colors. If you and your siblings want to trade colors, maybe you didn't get a color you like or your sibling didn't get a color they liked, you can trade colors. I'm using 3. There should be 3 in your kit, 2 or 3. And also you can use your scissors that you got from your kit. The scissors are going to be really helpful when finishing up or when tying knots. So scissors, popsicle sticks, and yarn. To start, I'm going to make an X, a letter X. X marks the spot with my popsicle sticks. Try to get them centered. You don't want it off crazy like that. Even though that does make an X, you want it an even X, kind of like a square. And then you're going to pinch it with your pointer finger and your thumb, kind of like a little mouth. So you're going to pinch it in the middle and hold it. Then I'm going to start with my first color of yarn, which is going to be the red. And I'm going to feed my little duck. So I'm going to put the yarn in between and I'm going to pinch it still. So now my duck is eating the yarn. There we go. Now I'm going to take my yarn. I kind of hold it with my other mouth, like this, or with my other pinchers. And just to get started, just to make sure our X's hold together, we're gonna go cross the X a few times, and then we're gonna rotate, and we're gonna cross the X a few times. There we go. You can see that my X got a little off-center. Do you see how this is a little bit longer? What I can do is scooch it down. We wanna keep that X shape. When you cross the X, you actually make, I'm going to see if I can show the camera, you actually make another X in the center. That's how you know you're started off good. You're going to keep that X, and here's the most difficult part. So pay attention. I'm going to try and do it a few times. The most difficult part is the next step. All right, so here is the tricky step after you've done the X's in the middle. I'm going to make sure that I've got my X's in the middle started. Now we're going to be doing what's actually called the weaving. The weaving is where you go over, under with the yarn. So if you look at your sheet that we put in your kits, we call it cross, around, back, rotate. It's also kind of over, under, but you're rotating, so we call it cross, around, and rotate. That's the words that I'm going to be using for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm pinching my yarn here. I'm holding the X with my other hand, and I'm going to cross, and I'm going to go around, back, and rotate. And then I kind of have to move my fingers. Did you see that? So I'm going to do it again. Cross, around, back, and rotate. If you're a left-hander, it might feel better if you switch hands. I'm a right-handed, so I'm going to be using this side. So I'm going to cross, around, back, and rotate. Cross, around, back, and rotate. Every time you rotate, you do the crossing and the around back on the next stick. So I just did the around back on this stick. When I rotate it, I'm going to cross and do the around back on this stick. So cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back. I'm going to finish up my red yarn like that. You can see that you can start to get this little square shape happening, but you still have X's on every stick. You want to make sure you have X's on every stick. When you're crossing, don't cross over the middle like this. Cross over onto the side. Cross, around, back. If you cross in the middle, when you go around back, it's going to want to come around back on the wrong stick. But if I cross on the side, the around back will be right here, nice and easy to reach. I'm gonna finish up the red here and then I'll be back. All right. All right, so I finished my red. I'm about halfway done. Now I'm gonna add in green. Green and red are complementary colors. They're gonna make each other pop. So the red is gonna look more red when it's next to that green. I'm gonna show you a really quick and easy way to tie a knot that my grandma taught me when I was really, really young. So I have my 2 pieces of yarn. They're together, they're almost hugging. My 2 pieces of yarn are hugging. Then what I'm gonna do is make an O with the yarn. It actually looks kind of like an X too right here. So if you wanna make an X with your yarn, that's cool. And then take the 2 hugging pieces and just wrap it around the X and through the hole, through the O. So you got X's and O's. So I pulled my ends through the O, and now I just pull. Now you got a nice, easy, simple knot. Don't tie your shoelaces like this, but you can tie your yarn like this. That way it will stay together. So I'm gonna go over the cross, around, back, and rotate again, and I'll finish up the green, and then I'll show you the last bit. Cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate. Once this green is coming in, you're really going to be able to see how the color rotates around. So cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, bam. And then you keep going. I really like this because your hands kind of get into a method. It's almost satisfying just to watch the colors build up on one another. Cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, cross, around, back, rotate, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. You can sing to yourself, you can hum to yourself, whatever works for you. I like to do weavings when I'm watching TV. It keeps my hands busy. Sometimes I get nervous, so I like to keep my hands busy while I'm doing something else. So there's how the green and the red really pop off of each other. I'm going to come back when I finish the pink. All right, I finished my pink. Now that I finished this with the red and the green and the pink, it almost reminds me of a rose. What does your weaving remind you of? This one reminds me of a rainbow or of a pride flag. This one reminds me of a rose or a flower. So what does your weaving remind you of? When you're finished, you're gonna know you're finished is when you're running out of room on the popsicle sticks. When there's no more space on the popsicle sticks for you to wrap the string around, then you know you're done. I'm gonna show you how to finish. So I'm gonna do one more cross, around, back. And when I crossed and did my around back, I'm gonna tuck this string under through that that last cross that I just did. So I'll show you that again. I actually can put my thumb right there. Cross, around, back, and then I'm gonna tuck this in through that last piece. I'm gonna pull it a little bit tight. Then what I'm gonna do is rotate it around one more time. Pull it through. Now I made an X with my yarn. I'm gonna zoom the camera. I made an X with my yarn in there. Just the same that we did the knot before. I'm gonna take my end and put it through that X that we made. And that will be a nice way to hold it. And now you can hang your X weaving. All right, I hope you had fun making your X weavings. Mine's hanging here like that. You can hang it in your window. You can hang it next to your bed, kind of like a dream catcher. Here are the two that I made with different colors. I would love if you showed your art leaders your X weavings that you made. For an extra challenge, you can use scissors or markers to do your X weaving on, or excuse me, pens or markers to do your X weaving on. Maybe you can find sticks out in nature to do your X weavings on. I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks so much and have a good week. We miss you. We wish we could talk to you in person and do art with you, but we're so glad that you're still getting kits. Bye. Oh my